If you tell anybody about our little secret, I'll kill your dog.
I didn't hit a brick wall. See, I'm the enlightened one. And back off. So I'm backing off. This case is BS. It's dark. And I hit a certain crossroad. And in my mind and in my heart, and it's going to get worse. Too much to lose. Excuse me.
Hey everybody, Roger here. I've come to the conclusion. I think I've come to a conclusion here. Again, information keeps coming out about this case over and over and over again. But I think regarding Jussie Smollett, I think he does not want to solve this case. It was never his intent. Otherwise, he would have provided unredacted information to the officers. So recently, I think it was yesterday and the day before, Jussie Smollett had provided heavily redacted phone records in a PDF format to officers that requested them to the Chicago PD. And he also provided a screenshot of calls. Now, two things here. First thing is, you're able to edit PDFs regardless. He could have fudged with things, edited some stuff, inserted some stuff, whatever, or just completely blacked out certain things. You can also edit an image. You can edit anything nowadays. The only thing that's actually going to be true is official documentation, official things from the phone company, or the best possible thing, probably not even really this. The phone record information would be great, the best. But the number two thing, go to the police station, give them your phone. If this is that important to you that you need to solve, that it's an epidemic of epic proportions and it hurts the gay community, I'm pretty sure your team, your crew at Empire and whatnot would allow you to not work for a couple of hours while the officers review your phone information for validity. I think that would be justice. I think that would help you quite a bit.
If you tell anybody about our little secret, I'll kill your dog.
But no, you're not choosing to do that. You need to provide your official phone records, and they need to be unedited. Again, I'm not saying that the information you provided was edited, but when you redact certain information, I mean, it just goes to show you can definitely edit all of these things. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Yeah, you should just sit with the officers. The other thing that bothers me is this. Everybody's saying, oh, they're focused primarily on the phone calls. I'm sorry, but things don't just happen with phone calls. Things also happen with downloaded apps, messaging services, whether they're part of your phone text messaging service or a third-party application. There's a lot of things that are used that can also be looked at in this case.
I thought I'd do like a grinder hookup story time, if you know what I mean. So I thought, it's worth a try to see if anyone wants to go on any dates or anything, but I messaged them, and within about 2 minutes I got a reply, come meet me. So I was like, where to? So they picked a place to go meet, so we went there, and it was out in public, so it was late, it was dark where we was going. I knew the place quite well anyway, because I used to go there when I was younger.
Smollett told police he went to a Subway restaurant, and police say video evidence supports that. Between 1:30 and 1:45 a.m., two people of interest were seen here.
But anyway, I go and meet him. I get there about, trying to think of time, probably around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Police say 1 block away, the alleged assault happened around 2 a.m., around the corner near an entrance to Smollett's building.
At this point, I got there and he was there. We was like chatting for about 10-15 minutes. He was the type of guy who'd big himself up, oh, I got like the biggest dick ever. When I got there, he was really quite small. Giving him a blowjob, that wouldn't work. When you're hyping yourself up saying that you're that big and then you go to meet them and they get out and it's really not, and then they're not a very good big grower either. Like, they grow like the tiniest bit when they are fully erected, and it is quite embarrassing. That's about it. Like, he obviously doesn't want much more. And he goes off, he goes on his phone for a bit, and and he's talking to someone. Like, he's like walking around talking on his phone.
Officials say the actor's manager, Brandon Moore, told them he was on the phone with Smollett during the attack, though police say Smollett declined to let authorities examine his phone.
You know, one thing leads to another, hands go down places, stuff goes in your mouth, and that was my first time anyway doing anything sexual in public, so I gotta say, doing it out in public feels a lot better than being indoors. It's just a thrill of being like caught or whatnot. Like, if someone's gonna walk past and catch you doing your naughties, like, that was probably the best hookup I've ever had. I can't actually explain how good it is to do it in public. But like I said, don't do it in public, 'cause it's quite bad if you get caught. By about 3:30, we finished. We like kissed and then like walked off in our separate ways. And that was the last I ever heard of him.
As the men fled, they yelled, "This is MAGA country."
How can I say this?
It's gay.
Tupac case is officially closed by me. Excuse me.
Case closed, bitch.
Now, granted, I think the reason why they're not asking for this kind of stuff is because at the moment, Jussie is not considered a criminal. He is considered a victim at this point, or a person of interest. He's considered a victim. So they're probably not going to be stretching it to ask for that information for that particular reason. I would assume. I'm not an officer or anything, and I don't know this stuff. I'm just assuming. Why would you ask for all this information from somebody who is an innocent person, supposedly an innocent person, who has requested the officers to look at this stuff? And again, there's mixed up stories everywhere as well. I don't even know what to believe anymore. He called the officers, or his friend called the officers, 911, whatever. I don't know at this point, but I think it all leads down to the fact that the officers were called at this point. So I'll try to make this complicated mess into as simple of an explanation as possible for my brain, because obviously I'm, as some of you might already assume, there already are people out there, I'm crazy in the head for even thinking what I'm thinking about this case. So, to each their own. So anyways, also, the Chicago PD is focusing a lot of manpower, a lot of man hours, and women, don't get mad, and trans, don't get mad, a lot of she-man and or she-bruh and he-ma'am hours into this case.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
And they could be focused on other things. I think right now we have close to 60 people already killed in Chicago alone. And we're only in the beginning of February, the first week of February, the second week of February. Over 50 to 60 people killed already. And we're focusing on this alleged attack. Really. If this doesn't spell entitlement to you, if this doesn't spell privilege to you, I don't know what does. Just debunk that whole privileged argument, period. We're all privileged. I'm privileged, you're privileged, he's privileged. It is what it is at this point. But yeah, neighbors are beginning to doubt the claims as well. There was a report of one of his the neighbors in that complex. He said he's been living there for about 5+ years now, and he's like, the only people that are here are gay and black, gay and or black. He's like, I don't believe this for a minute. So again, more information is going to be adding credibility to your belt. I mean, you have everybody assuming everything from your supporters all the way to the people who don't support and think that you're lying about this thing to push an agenda. So I'm of this side. And I believe the officers are investigating the rope as well. I could be wrong on this, but I think they've already found out what type of rope it was, and they're going to be searching the area to see who sells it and see if they can find some footage of who maybe who has purchased it or whatnot, and probably some credit card transactions, and see if they can put 2 and 2 together from there. So now, the New York Post also said that there was an empty hot sauce bottle filled with a clear liquid that was found near the place of attack. Okay, it could be a jug of urine that was set for sanitation, and it ended up turning into water, so you can put in your orange juice, or make orange juice, coffee, and whatever. You know, for those of you following AOC, you'll know what I mean, and Mark Dice. Anyways, yeah, so again, you can find anything in that area, and who knows how long what's been there. Let's see what happens with that. Don't know what to make of it. Now, there's also some online footage with a guy who was filming in the exact area of where the alleged attack took place. One thing of note is that he showed that there was a camera directly facing the area, and I won't say directly, but it was within the area, and it looks like there was probably some lights in that area because it's an underpass or something. It looked interesting, but there was a door, and across the door there's a wall, like a 5-foot gap of a wall, and unless the fight took place in that wall area behind the wall, again, whether it's a fight or whether it's some Jussie going down on somebody or somebody going down on Jussie, I don't know.
Hey, little bear, what's up?
I don't know what he's doing. What the hell? I'm gonna kiss slap the shit out of you.
Well, if you're gonna do that, then you might as well just suck my dick too.
Oh, what? You know what? Yeah, okay, man. I might show over there, bitch. I'm not gay, man. What are you
naked?
I would think Jussie going down on somebody. Again, all assumptive, but yours are assumptive too because we have no evidence. That could have all been done in the convenience and the comfort of a corner without a camera in the way.
I thought I'd do like a grinder hookup. Story time, if you know what I mean.
So yeah, there is that 5-foot wall blocking it, and if there was an attack, I would think that there'd be some motion of bodies somewhere there. But no, some people, it was an inconspicuous place. I mean, I don't know. So much convenience for certain scenarios to take place there, if you know what I mean. So yeah, one way or another, something happened there, apparently. Okay, I wanted to read a quote from Variety.com's recent article about Smollett. Okay, one of the sentences that they say in there is, add to it that Smollett's identity as a gay black man and details that his attackers were reported to have shouted racist and homophobic slurs. I'm glad I said reported, not that they did. To have shouted racist and homophobic slurs and the pro-Trump MAGA slogan, and you have a heart-grippingly clear example of why so many members of the protected classes have come to feel unsafe during a moment in which hatred and rage have come to so thoroughly dominate our natural discourse.
Well, I made that one up.
No, that's all fucking bullshit. None of this stuff is real. Go look at all these crimes. One thing that you'll see never happen is that people will go back to see if the crime was a hoax or not. The story comes out, the job is done. The majority of people, 80 to 90% of the people, will not go back and check on the information to see if it was really confirmed that it was a hate crime. We get the allegation initially. That's it. We get the allegation. Everybody gets in an uproar. MSM, they all go bonkers and crazy to see who's going to get the most ratings for this episode of craziness. And then they'll issue later on down the line. Sometimes they'll issue an update. Oh, update! This black man who reported the church on fire and had swastikas all over, painted swastikas all over the church, ended up actually being a black man doing this. Or this college Muslim girl saying that 2 white men were trying to pull her hijab off her face, ended up confessing to court that she lied. Or this other lesbian who said that these other men were assaulting her or whatever. Is something. Ended up being a lie. Again, go back. Provide me evidence. Do this for the ones that are saying that I'm lying about this. Go ahead and put links in the bottom here. There might be some, a few here and there, but to your one evidence that you provide me of people that actually have 100% confirmed crimes and the person is doing time because of it, I'll give you 3. For every one, I'll give you 3, and we'll go from there. We'll start this little match here, and then you'll see this statement here is just talking points to push an agenda. We don't have no hatred and rage coming from the MAGA crowd. We don't. Look, I like Trump. I want him to succeed. I wanted Obama to succeed. I didn't really give a shit for Bush, but I mean, yeah, who doesn't want their president to succeed? When your president succeeds and he looks good across the global stage, he looks good in America, not just looks good, but is working together with all the congressmen, whatever, and global partners and citizens and whatnot, good things can happen. Good things are happening right now. So, yeah, we don't have this separation. The separation is being caused by the MSM divide. It's being caused by stupid people who actually are gullible enough to believe all that shit. So that's the problem. So yeah, they're false narratives that hurt honesty over actual victimhood. Like I said in one of my last videos, Smollett, you're abusing this way too far. If it turns out that you are right, I will make a video. I'll be one of the first to make a video apologizing to you and kissing your feet. But I'm almost certain that you're lying about this. And if you are lying about this, then you should be reprimanded. You should be sued by the Chicago PD for the time, the resources. Look, 50 to 60 people dead already. Where could resources have gone instead of this stupid scenario? Yeah. So, if it turns out to be fake, if this whole stupid thing with Jussie Smollett turns out to be fake, what does this do to hate crimes in general for the gay community? Well, we have a lot of wolves. Sheep crying wolf right now. We have this one. We've had many since Trump has become president. Again, I've told you guys before. One of my friends wrote me a private letter in Facebook saying, the day after Trump won, I put on Facebook, oh, hooray, Trump won. And then he writes me a letter saying that, oh, you know, I think you should unfriend me because I had a friend who this truck was driving past him as he was jogging, and this guy's a gay man, and he was jogging, and they yelled out the truck, this is Trump's America. This is, I'll put the screenshot of it on here. I've done it in one of my past videos. So I'm like, this is Trump's America, you FAG and whatnot, something like that. And I'm like, no, I don't unfriend people. You know, you can unfriend me if you want, but that's just not how I work. And you know, you're entitled to your beliefs. I said, I don't care what you believe. You know, if you have your own life, you have your own experiences. Whether you're so far left, I will respect your thoughts and your ideology just so long as you can back them up. And if you're not pushing them in my face, then I won't have to confront you about them. Fair is fair. I mean, you're entitled to believe what you want. I'm entitled to believe what I want. Prove me otherwise. Prove me wrong. Or me, I'll prove you wrong. But I don't interfere in your space. I'm not like you. I'm not wanting attention. I'm just providing information, providing my view. And if you guys want to roll with it and go with it, that's totally fine. If you provide me information, like in my comments or in my tweets or whatnot, that's totally fine too. I've had some people who they've changed my mind on some things. I mean, nobody's God. I mean, stop thinking that way. Stop thinking you have all the right answers. Be humble. We're missing ego. We're missing ego. We have so much ego and so much pride. Stop it. Just start being humble about being stupid. Start being humble about not knowing much. Just start being humble about providing information, sharing ideas, and going with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. This is what this world is missing. Everybody has to be first. Everybody has to be a winner. To be a fucking Candox Owens. You know, oh no, everybody else is wrong because I said something and I never said that, but she does. I'm so tired of liars. I'm so tired of people who are just so big on themselves. They have to be right all the time. Just be humble. My God. So that's what it does to the gay community. Everybody's crying wolf, and nobody's going to believe another LGBT attack anymore. Again, it's happening everywhere. The ones who believe, gay people with the agenda. They're going to believe anything. This is why I'm not part of the LGBTQ community anymore. One of the reasons. Another reason is definitely because of the inclusion of the NAMBLA group. I mean, that's just... yeah, I'll be making a video about that, and thank you to the person who sent me the suggestion in one of my other videos recently. That has been in the back of my mind. I have a whole list of ideas I save on Excel about topics that I do want to discuss, and that's definitely one of them, so I appreciate that suggestion. What does this do to hate crimes in general for the black community, or any minority community? Or what is the word? Protected classes. God, I hate that group. Look, people in general should be protected. There shouldn't be no protected classes. It's just like the dodo bird. If your class can't survive, I mean, what? I mean, same with me. Nobody's gonna cry over when I die. I mean, who cares? You know, life is life. But all you gotta do is just make the most of it. Learn as much as you can. Be the best that you can be, and try to give back as much as you can. And those people that say, oh, you know, people like you, Roger, you guys are just, you're assholes, you don't have compassion for people, you don't have this, you don't have that. I do have a lot of compassion. I give a lot more than the average person who says I don't have compassion. Those people take. But you know what? They have to, and there's a life cycle to this. Those people eventually have to grow out of that phase and eventually get back as well. And there's nothing wrong with being on either side of the spectrum. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, you just have to know your place and be true to yourself inside. I wasn't true to myself for the longest time. It wasn't until recently I started really thinking about who I am and what I wanted to be, and 40 plus years in life can do that to you. But anyways, okay, so what does this do? What does this do to the overall environment today? We don't have facts for anything anymore. We don't need facts. All we need is an allegation. We don't need no evidence. We can act like we provide a little bit of evidence here and there, but it's not really evidence. But the average stupid person who's drinking Mountain Dew all day and soda pop and living off of shitty food, fast food and crap food, processed food, their brains don't know how to process shit.
I made that one up.
For the most part, they don't know how to comprehend. They don't know how to think critically. They don't care. They look at these people as heroes anyway. Oh no, I love Jussie Smollett while you're eating the frickin' Pringles or Cheetos all over your face. You can call President Trump a Cheeto, but you're the one frickin' eating them. So, yeah, he eats fast food too. Go figure. But I don't think he eats Cheetos. Stop admiring the fake gods. You just, again, celebrities. I'm giving Jussie an opportunity right here, trying to figure out what this whole case thing is about. All the conclusion I've come up with so far with you, Jussie, is that you're being a sham. You're cooperating to make it look like you're cooperating, but you're not really cooperating. You're providing shit evidence, and you know it. Provide the real information. If this is really important to you, if it's really important to Taraji P. Henson, Mrs. Glendale officers racial profile my child. Oh, give me a break. He's around all these race baiters. It's just ridiculous. And it has an influence. And also his mom was an activist as well. So, I mean, again, you grow up this way, you could be that way. It is what it is. So, yeah, protected classes of people. I really hate that phrase. I really do. Just be an individual and be your own boss. Be your own boss and start. Don't be a victim. I was a victim for the longest time, thinking like a victim and whatnot. And oh God, I'm sounding like Candace. I'm gonna shut up about that now. Sorry. So stop being taken a fool. Don't let instances like this make you look like an idiot. Now, granted, I could be looking like an idiot right now too. Just as equally as you have the people who support him, who believe him, you have just as much evidence as I do, which is zero. And we all have our assumptions. You could be right, I could be right, and vice versa. But you have to really look and add up all of the entire scenario. I think his is the probability of his being on a 100% scale. The probability of his claims to be true in real life in comparison to what really goes on around the world is very slim. It's very slim. Could be true, but he's not providing you anything of value to prove otherwise. But beyond all that, people are focused on the unimportant, and we got to stop being taken a fool. We got to start looking at the more productive things, the more important things about every situation. In regards to the Smollett case, the thing I see that's important is that this is going to make other people who are actually victims of real hate crimes look incredulous. Black, Mexican, gay, whatever. The people who don't like Trump, they don't need evidence for him to be found guilty. Yet when we ask for evidence for Smollett, they don't want evidence for Smollett. They just believe him off the bat. And it's kind of a bit of a hypocritical thing. I mean, like even with me, with Hillary Clinton, I'm not, and the DNC and the Seth Rich case and whatnot, among every other thing that they're responsible for, I like evidence. I don't go with the bandwagon just because I lean a little bit more to the right. I like evidence, and I want to do my best to give credibility when the information is out there and it looks pretty close to conclusive that, or probable that somebody is guilty of a crime. In both these cases with Smollett and with Hillary, I think the actions look like they fit a crime or an alleged allegation to be false, as is in the case with Jussie. But it is what it is at this point. But the only thing that's important for all these people who love Jussie is believe the gay. Just believe the gay. Believe the gay Tupac. It's crazy. So yeah, those are my thoughts about the current scenario. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think him providing the heavily redacted phone information is sufficient enough? Do you think he's just kind of coasting it inch by inch to make it look like he's credible, so that way it looks like, oh no, he's been working with the officers. Officers say he has been, but again, providing pieces of information like this is just allowing it to be credible enough to be believable to the people who don't want to question him. That's how I look at it. But yeah, that's my take on it right now. What are you guys' thoughts? Like, hate, subscribe, unsubscribe, share, don't share. I do love it all. Peace out.
Teach us how to measure time. He's gonna teach us how to eat a Subway footlong.
Oh! You got a footlong for an angel.
Do it again. Do it again. One more time. One more time.
Do it again.
One more time.
Go ahead, Jody. Show him how.
No.
This is not how our products are intended to be consumed.
Case closed, bitch.